What's up YouTube? It's your girl Shan, aka Chef Shan, and I'm back here with another video for you guys. Welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel, Not Your Average Vegan. Today I will be attempting to make Swedish meatballs, so stay tuned if you guys want to know whether or not I nailed or failed this dish. So I'm just going to start off by preparing the mashed potatoes for this dish. I just cut up some regular potatoes and boiled them until they were done, and now I'm going to put them into this mashed potato masher. The goal is to get these super creamy, so this is why I am putting them through the masher instead of using a hand masher. So now I'm just going to transfer my potatoes back to my pot, and I'm going to add in some butter, some milk, and some salt and pepper to taste. Like I said before, the goal is to get these mashed potatoes super creamy, so I'm going to add in milk as needed until I feel like I have the right texture. And typically Swedish meatballs are served with boiled potatoes, but I prefer the mashed potatoes, which they can be served with as well, so that is what I'm making for you guys today. And as you see, I'm just mixing them up until I get that super creamy texture, and the more milk I add, the creamier they're getting, and I just try not to add too much milk because I didn't want them to become soupy. Moving on to the meatballs, I'm going to start by creating my flax egg, which I'm going to use some flax seeds and some water and mix that up really well, and then set it aside until it gets thicker. And next I'm going to measure out my breadcrumbs, and I'm going to mix those with some milk, and I'm going to just give those a really good mix, and I'm going to set them to the side as well just so they can swell up, and this is going to add some extra moisture to our meatballs. This part is something that I have never done before, so it was really interesting to see it in the recipe, which I would have in the description box for you guys. But the recipe did call for 1 grated onion, and when I tell you guys I have never cried so much while dealing with an onion, I definitely have not. But it did add some great flavor and some moisture to the meatball, so I definitely will be taking this technique with me into my Italian style meatballs that I make on the regular. Now I'm going to begin to mix everything together. So here I have my breadcrumbs, and as you see, they have swelled. And here is the flax egg that has thickened up. And I'm going to put that into a bowl with my onions and my meat as well. This is the meat substitute I will be using today. I have not found Beyond Meat in Sweden yet, but this is really comparable. I like it. I like the flavor, really good texture, so this is what I decided to use. Season this with some salt, pepper, and some nutmeg, and I'm just going to give it a really good mix with my hands until it's well combined like so. Here's a simple trick to help you make sure that the flavors in your meatballs are going to be right. You just want to take a little bit of the mixture and cook it in the pan, and this just ensures that all the flavor is there. And if they're not, you can go back and add extra seasonings before you cook all of your meatballs and find out at the end that they're not what you like. Now I'm going to begin to form my meatballs. I did run my hands under some super cold water just so the mixture did not stick to my hands as much. And you want to make these Swedish meatballs smaller than normal. Typically Swedish meatballs are small, so this is what I am doing. Once we're finished forming the meatballs, it is time to cook them. The recipe did call to cook them in butter instead of oil, which I like because I feel like it gave it a little extra flavor. And of course, this is vegan butter that I am using. So go ahead, drop some butter in your pan and begin to place the meatballs. And you don't want to crowd your pan, so you want to cook a few at a time, just so they don't stick together. now I'm going to continue to make the gravy. I did keep the drippings from the meatballs in the pan, and I'm going to add some more butter, and then I'm going to add in some vegetable broth as well as some vegan heavy cream. Let that come to a boil, season it, and just let it get thick. And I didn't add anything to this gravy to help thicken it up. Swedish gravy is typically thinner, so I just let it cook on its own. And now I'm going to go ahead and add in my meatballs to finish this dish off. Alright guys, so here's the finished product. Swedish meatballs are typically served with lingonberry sauce, which is what this is here. And that can be compared to cranberry. And it's usually served with pickles or cucumbers. But I don't like those, so I eat them with Brussels sprouts. And I'm going to let you guys know how they turned out. To answer the question, was this video a nail or a fail? I definitely give the meal a thumbs up. I think I nailed the meal as far as it being a good, delicious meal. But as far as it being Swedish meatballs, I don't think I can say that it's really Swedish meatballs. I think that the components were there, but not really sure if all the flavors were there. So I definitely will be trying to recreate this meal again. Let me know what you guys think down below. And if you guys like this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up, leave a comment for me, and please subscribe to my channel. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.